Hello everyone, I'm Yazan Ibrahim, or as some of you might know me, Yazan Abu Ghosh. Today we're going to dive into a fascinating and essential topic from Chapter 5, Protection of Information Assets, Part A, Information Asset Security and Control, 5.9, Web-Based Communication Technologies. If you are a seasoned auditor or just curious to understand how information systems into business environments, you've come to the right place. Let's begin. Think about the way we communicate today: emails, voice calls, instant messages, and even social media. It's hard to imagine a world without these technologies, but behind the convenience of modern communication lies a complex, interconnected web of systems, each with its own risks and challenges. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating and crucial world of web-based communication technologies, how they've transformed the way we connect, and why securing them is more important than ever before. Voice over IP, VoIP, the shift to internet telephony. Let's start with one of the most revolutionary advancements, Voice over IP, or VoIP. Picture this: a conversation that doesn't rely on traditional, costly phone lines, but instead travels seamlessly over the internet. That's the magic of VoIP. By digitizing our voices into packets, it allows organizations to carry voice traffic over their existing data infrastructure. This shift from circuit switching, the old way of transmitting phone calls, to packet switching has unlocked massive benefits. It's why international phone calls today can be cheaper or even free compared to just a few decades ago. But like all great innovations, VoIP comes with challenges. Unlike the heavily controlled and closed structure of the public switched telephone network, PSTN, VoIP operates over the open and less secure internet. This means the threats to your conversations have evolved, from simple eavesdropping on physical phone lines to complex cyber attacks involving intercepted data packets. To make things even more complicated, organizations using VoIP face risks spanning both data and voice security. Business critical information, sensitive data, and even intellectual property can be at risk if VoIP systems aren't secured properly. So, what steps can organizations take to lock down their systems? First, separating VoIP infrastructure from standard data traffic through virtual local area networks, VLANs, is key. This segregation helps prevent attackers from jumping between your data and phone systems. Second, firewalls and session border controllers, SBCs, can filter VoIP traffic, monitor for denial of service attacks, and provide encryption safeguards. Ultimately, organizations must treat VoIP with the same rigor as data security, using firewalls, encryption, and regular updates to patch vulnerabilities. Private Branch Exchange, PBX, the office phone network. Now let's switch gears to another traditional yet vulnerable technology, PBX. A private branch exchange, or PBX, is essentially a mini phone company for internal communications within an organization. It connects employees to each other and to external phone lines without requiring a dedicated line for each staff member. PBX may sound old school, after all, it's been around since the 1920s, but modern-day digital PBX systems remain a key fixture in many organizations. However, PBX systems, whether analog or digital, come with their own spectrum of risks. Imagine attackers exploiting weaknesses to rack up long-distance charges on your network, or listening in on private conversations via an unsecure PBX. Data theft, unauthorized access, or even denial of service attacks can all compromise such systems. A key security tip for PBX administrators is to change default passwords. It may seem simple, but leaving the manufacturer's default settings intact creates an easy entry point for hackers. Another effective measure is regularly reviewing system logs to detect anomalies or misuse of conference call features, often a red flag for unauthorized access. When it comes to PBX security, vigilance pays off. Limiting administrative features to only what's essential can minimize vulnerabilities, while controls like call tracking logs can help audit and mitigate misuse. Email security, the never-ending battle. Now let's explore the lifeblood of modern communication, email. Email is fast, efficient, and inherently insecure. When Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, SMTP, the building block of email, was first created, security wasn't a primary consideration. This makes email one of the most vulnerable communication methods today. The risks? There are many. Phishing attacks are growing increasingly sophisticated and fool even the savviest professionals. Man-in-the-middle attacks can alter or intercept email transmissions. And let's not forget malware, which can silently enter an organization's network through an innocent-looking email attachment. But the good news is, solutions are at hand. Antivirus and anti-malware tools should be non-negotiable for any organization. Beyond that, encryption plays a key role. For instance, digital signatures not only confirm the authenticity of an email, but also prevent messages from being altered. Consider this. If your organization relies on email content for critical functions, like approving payroll or authorizing payments, why not digitally sign these communications? A digital signature, which is based on public key cryptography, ensures that even if a message is intercepted, it can't be decrypted or forged. By treating every email interaction as a potential risk, organizations can adopt stronger proactive measures, from encryption to secure configurations of their mail servers. Instant messaging, fast but risky on to instant messaging, IM. This quick-fire communication method is widely used in workplaces for real-time collaboration. But while it's fast and convenient, it's also fraught with potential pitfalls. Through IM systems, hackers can introduce malware or eavesdrop on messages. Worse, poor management of IM traffic can lead to unmonitored data leaks, exposing sensitive corporate information. To mitigate these risks, organizations should block unauthorized IM apps and instead promote secured, corporate-controlled instant messaging solutions. More advanced measures like encrypting message traffic and training employees on IM protocols can drastically reduce the risk of compromise. Social media, the double-edged sword. Then there's social media. For organizations, platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter can be powerful tools to extend marketing reach and build customer relationships. But these benefits aren't without risks. Oversharing on social media could inadvertently leak sensitive information. A hijacked brand account can tarnish a company's reputation in minutes. And employees' personal use of social media at work? That opens another can of worms. Organizations must tread carefully. Clear policies need to dictate what employees can post, both on official company accounts and their private accounts. Continuous monitoring for fake or fraudulent accounts pretending to represent your organization is equally crucial. And remember, social media doesn't just carry marketing exposure, it also exposes businesses to legal and reputational risks. Ensuring accountability and security over your online presence has never been more critical. Cloud computing, flexibility with risk. Finally, we reach cloud computing, the backbone of many communication systems today. The cloud enables flexible on-demand access to computing resources, but it's not without challenges. Misconfigurations, lack of encryption, or failures to adhere to compliance standards can all expose sensitive data to bad actors. The key to cloud security lies in shared responsibilities. Providers must secure the infrastructure, but your organization still bears responsibility for how data is stored, transmitted, and accessed. From encryption to robust identity and access management, securing data in the cloud should never be an afterthought. As we've explored today, web-based communication technologies are vital to modern business operations, yet carry inherent risks. Whether it's VoIP, PBX, email, or social media, each system requires careful design and management to protect sensitive data and maintain trust. With cyber threats growing more sophisticated by the day, securing these platforms is no longer optional, it's a necessity. By employing the right security measures, training employees, and staying proactive, organizations can reap the benefits of modern communication technologies without falling victim to their risks. Now, the question is, how secure is your organization's communication infrastructure? Now we're stepping into one of the most transformative technologies of the 21st century, cloud computing. Imagine your business, a high-rise building filled with servers humming in dense server rooms, each storing terabytes of critical data. But what if I told you there's a cleaner, more efficient solution that lets you access your data anywhere, scale your needs in real time, eliminate on-site hardware, and still meet enterprise-grade security expectations? This is the promise of cloud computing. But while it comes with incredible potential, it carries risks and complexities that businesses must handle carefully. Let's explore this world of virtualized resources, shining a light on everything from cloud service models and deployment strategies to the unique risks you might face within this nebulous frontier of technology. How cloud computing models work. Cloud computing is more than a tool, it's an ecosystem. To understand it, imagine three fundamental layers like a building where each floor provides distinct services: infrastructure as a service, IaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, and software as a service, SaaS. One IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Picture this as leasing the bones of a powerful building. Compute power, storage, networks. It's a foundation where businesses can run their own applications without owning a single piece of hardware. But there's a catch. What happens if the provider faces downtime or failure? Enterprises must plan for service interruptions. Backup strategies and redundancy solutions often become critical lifelines. 2. PaaS, platform as a service. Now imagine you can build your dream apartment with tools and materials already provided. A PaaS platform allows developers to create applications without worrying about managing the underlying infrastructure. However, concerns creep in. How secure is offsite data in a hosted database? What happens if sensitive data is leaked? Issues like data ownership and privacy breaches emerge as central conversations for organizations embracing this model. 3. SaaS, software as a service. Finally, at the top level of this skyscraper, you get fully furnished living spaces ready to use. SaaS means accessing software applications like email or CRMs directly via the cloud. But enterprises must consider who owns the data in this web-based system, where is it really stored? At every level of this tower, cloud technology offers incredible ease and flexibility, but brings questions about data control, legal compliance, and the vulnerability of operating off-premises. Cloud deployment models, private, public, hybrid, community. Now let's look at the neighborhoods these models belong to. The deployment approaches that define how cloud services are deployed. 1. Private cloud. Think of this as your own secluded neighborhood. A private cloud is built and operated exclusively for your organization. You control access, reduce risks, and ensure security. However, this comes at a cost. You don't enjoy the massive scalability or agility that public clouds provide. 2. Community cloud picture. A co-living space shared by residents with a shared mission. This is a community cloud. Organizations with similar missions or compliance requirements band together to share infrastructure. But here's a challenge. Your data might live alongside your competitors' data, adding an extra layer of complexity to security. 3. Public cloud. Imagine living in a buzzing, sprawling city where you don't always know your neighbors. A public cloud allows anyone to utilize massive shared resources, but with reduced transparency. Where exactly is your data, and how quickly can you retrieve it in emergencies? These are the risks organizations constantly weigh. 4. Hybrid cloud. Lastly, there's the best of both worlds, the suburbs, the hybrid cloud. Organizations combine private and public cloud structures for scalability and security. But there's a rub. What happens when you need to juggle sensitive data between environments? Clear classification and labeling become critical tools in designing foolproof strategies. Understanding these models is vital for tailoring solutions to your organization's specific needs, while managing risks stemming from different deployment environments. The essential characteristics of cloud computing. What sets the cloud apart isn't just flexibility and convenience, it's a combination of fundamental characteristics that define the very nature of cloud technology. 1. On-demand self-service. Imagine being able to scale your resources, new servers, storage, or network capacity at the click of a button without waiting for engineers or hardware deliveries. The cloud empowers businesses to act fast, automating supply based on demand. 2. Broad network access. In today's connected age, cloud systems can be accessed anywhere, anytime on a phone, laptop, or tablet. The device in your hands becomes the portal to business as usual. 3. Resource pooling and multi-tenancy. A fascinating feature of the cloud is the ability to share resources dynamically, like slicing a pie for tenants in a multi-tenant building. But here lies the challenge. Is your slice safe? What if one tenant mishandles their share and creates vulnerabilities for others? Enterprises must demand transparency on resource allocation and isolation techniques to safeguard their assets. 4. Rapid elasticity. Imagine running an e-commerce business during Black Friday. One moment you need 1,000 servers, the next 10,000. The cloud's elasticity enables you to scale seamlessly, but do you truly have unlimited access? Businesses need to clarify scale thresholds to ensure their needs are met even during peak demand. 5. Measured service. Finally, everything in the cloud runs like a utility, metered and billed transparently based on usage. This isn't just cost-effective, it offers visibility into resource consumption over time and can help businesses optimize performance. Cloud risks and security, protecting your digital assets. No discussion of cloud computing is complete without addressing risk. The cloud offers incredible benefits, but its unique ecosystem introduces challenges that must be mitigated through best practices, smart controls, and strategic planning. 1. Legal compliance. Many cloud providers operate across borders where regulations like Europe's GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, come heavily into play. Enterprises seeking compliance shouldn't just trust. They need proactive contracts that specify storage locations and regulatory alignment for all transborder assets. 2. Data disposal. What happens when data doesn't just disappear? Improper wiping or backup destruction could result in private data being accessed even after deletion. Enterprises must contractually enforce data disposal policies involving rigorous forensic cleaning when contracts end. 3. Multi-tenancy advantages and dangers. The shared nature of public clouds is a strength and a threat. While resource pooling creates efficiencies, it opens organizations to isolation risks, where compromised storage, memory, or routing tables may lead to breaches. To address this, some businesses opt for private clouds or demand stricter controls for public solutions. 4. Lack of control in updates and rollouts. Many CSPs, cloud service providers, deploy updates quickly, but without visibility into the software development lifecycle, SDLC. Enterprises may unknowingly absorb risks from insufficiently tested patches, further underscoring the need for negotiated controls in contracts and SLAs. The future of cloud computing. The cloud is a gateway, not just to efficiency, but to unprecedented global connectivity, scalability, and operational flexibility. However, the risks and complexities require businesses to watch closely, taking calculated steps to mitigate pitfalls while seizing benefits. Whether it's through robust contract design, better forensic investigations, or a hybrid deployment to balance sensitivity and scale, organizations must take charge and define their future in the cloud. In this increasingly digital world, the cloud isn't just a tool, it's a shift in how we think, innovate, and build the businesses of tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and as always, continue learning. Stay curious, and we'll see you next video.